What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 49K, very first edition of the 49ers Fan Cave Tour. We're going to be virtually touring 49er fan caves. I got a ton of submissions, so I'm really excited today to do the very first one. And I'm joined by Niner Jim and his daughter, Jim. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Steph. Thanks for having us today. We're honored to be the first one you're doing. And I think this is a great idea because Niner fans are international. And, when we're not out in the Bay Area supporting the team at Levi's, we're supporting them from our fan caves. And I think this is going to be a really exciting thing for you to do for your fans.
Absolutely. So where are you two located?
So we live near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's the closest major city to us. I've lived in this area my entire life, and so is my daughter, McKenna. I'm deep in Eagle country, and last year was a really good year, and the year before that, not so much. It is what it is, but I've been repping the red and gold since I was in fifth grade. The way I became a fan, we had this magazine that came out into school called The Weekly Reader. And in that one episode of The Weekly Reader, they talked about Steve DeBerg. He had laryngitis, and they needed him to play a couple of games with laryngitis. So they were trying to figure out a way to get him to play so he could make the audibles, the receivers could hear the signals. So they wired up a microphone in his helmet and speakers on his shoulder pads, and that's how they got him to be able to be heard. And when you're that age, that's like a pretty cool thing. And I was like, wow, that's pretty wild, These stuff that they're doing to get this guy to play. And then I went home and I asked my dad, where was San Francisco? Because I didn't know. I was in fifth grade. He showed me on the globe where San Francisco was and where we are. And I'm like, wow, it's all the way over there on that side of the country. And he's like, yeah. And I said, have you ever been there, Dad? And he said, yeah, I've been there a couple times on business. And I said, well, that's it. I'm sold. I like this team. I'm going to start rooting for him. And then the very next year, Joe takes over. They win the Super Bowl. And the rest, as they say, is history. So It's been a long time. And I'm honored and proud that I can pass it down to my daughter and my son. He's upstairs, but my daughter's really embracing the 49er faithful way of life, and she's pretty hardcore for her age.
Yeah, she's got the Brock Purdy Super Bowl jersey on. I love that. So McKenna, when did you sort of become a 49ers fan?
I think the day I was born.
She's right. She's pretty much right.
I mean, this is what it's all about, passing on that legacy of fandom, to your children. I know that means a lot. Now, before we get into the Fan Cave Tour, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? When did you really start collecting all of, these collectibles, these belongings? And when did it really become a fan cave?
Yeah, great question. So I was collecting throughout my whole life, but I moved a couple times and things kind of got lost and, misplaced. So I kind of had to start over. So when I moved into this house, basement was already finished, so it was great. So I said, well, this is going to become my fan cave. So I had a little pieces here and there, slowly rebuilding my collection. And then about 2 years ago, I was just sitting down here and I said, this has got to be painted. I got to do it. So we took everything off the walls, painted it red and gold. You can kind of see the red stripe behind me in the gold wall. The TV wall, which you'll see shortly, is all red and with the gold stripe. And that's when I was able to rehang everything on the walls and get them more organized and compressed so I can get even more. So I've been really hardcore collecting again for about the last 8 to 10 years. A lot of stuff that I get, and you'll see shortly, is from the 49ers Foundation. I've been a big supporter of that and then giving back to the community. And I've won quite a few auctions. And I try to get the unique stuff like the player worn or the game team issued stuff because that's more unique and it's more sentimental. So I got a lot through there. Even though I've lived out here my whole life from 1998 through 2014 or so, I actually had season tickets. And my dad and I would go to Candlestick. We'd fly out twice a year on a Friday, come back on a Monday and go to 2 games a year. And my dad's still around, but he's getting older, so he can't do it anymore. But those are just memories I have. It just me and him going out for the weekend, just having dad and son bonding time. And I think that too is also a reason why I'm so deep into it, and I'm so excited that my daughter's embracing it as well. But that's kind of where it's been collecting the last couple of years. You meet people at card shows, and I've got some tables in here that I'll show you that were made by some guys in card shows. met some amazing talent creators on Twitter. I've got a couple pieces in this room that I'll show you from different fans on Twitter. Back in the 80s, my dad would take me out and we'd end up staying at the team hotel. And I met Joe Montana in the hotel bookstore. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is Joe Montana. And he signed the magazine cover for me. He was with Ronnie Lott. And I'm like, what two better guys to meet? And so it goes way back. And most of the pieces, though, I think are kind of newer, more the modern day guys. But that's where it started from.
You said you've been collecting all these items 8-10 years, right? So
yep.
In that time, how much money do you think you've spent on your fan cave?
A lot, probably more than I want to admit. The foundation stuff is usually a little more expensive because it's an auction and it's more authentic. It's the team issued stuff. If I'm including painting, I've probably got 5 figures invested into this fan cave. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But I don't regret it. It's been over a long period of time. It's stuff that's sentimental and means things to me. And this is my happy place.
I mean, I'm excited to see it at this point. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. So we'll start with where we're seated. You can't really see it, but if we stand up, we actually, when Candlestick came down, I bought my seats from Candlestick. So I had to do that when those were available. So this is where my dad and I would sit, row 1, seats 5 and 6, right there in the corner of the end zone. This is probably my most sentimental thing that I have because, again, it goes back to the late 90s when my dad and I were traveling. So it's our seats. I mean, they're not literally our seats, but they're our seat numbers. So this is a permanent part of the fan cave. My second greatest piece that I have is this Joe Montana jersey. So this is just a regular jersey. It's not anything special about it, except that a couple of years ago in 2018 or 2019, he came out to a card show at a local expo center, and he was doing autographs. So I had to go and get an autograph with Joe, and I got a picture. And my memory of that is, on the floor they have tape where you should stand for your photo with the athlete. So I wasn't on the tape. I wasn't online. And Joe says, I think you need to line up on that tape. And I'm like, Joe Montana lined me up. It's like, how awesome is that? How many times has he lined guys up and he lined me up? So, again, it's just a regular jersey, but it's his legit autograph. So we'll just walk around this way a little bit. A lot of different FOCO bobbleheads and pops. Just a whole bunch of different guys. I even got the red refrigerator down here. You can see that, it's part of the cave. You got to have the red refrigerator. Coming over here, I got a couple of carpets. This is my daughter standing on one right now. A couple of throw runners here. I have a bunch of autographed jerseys here. These are just things that I've bought over time. That Wisnowski one was actually a practice jersey. Got that from the auction. That's an Ayuk practice jersey. So I hope I get to keep it for a while. I hope he signs.
Right.
So Mitchell, Trent Williams autographed jersey, Buckner autographed jersey, and then there's Armstead. We'll miss him too. But another autographed jersey there. This piece here, Spectre Davin made that custom piece. He's on Twitter. He makes some amazing stuff. So I got that custom piece there. This escape room. This was hand drawn for us by Rita Oak.
Oh wow, hand drawn.
Yeah, so she would do commissions. I'm sure you've seen her work all over the place. She did the schedule release, I think, this year for the team. My family and I were really big into escape rooms, so I had this idea, and she drew it up. We have a sequel to this someday when the 49ers win the Super Bowl. The sequel to this picture is going to be after we've escaped from the escape room, and we're celebrating. We have a Super Bowl trophy and things like that.
This is awesome.
Yeah, she does amazing work. All right, so coming along this wall here. So these are some more just jerseys that I've purchased over time, just autographed jerseys. But this wall here, and I'll try to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better.
Wow. Yep.
These are all team issued or game worn. They're all from the 49ers Foundation. A couple guys, I have the fronts of the jersey out so you can see the logo of the tag. So, there's a Super Bowl jersey from Tank. And there's Jason Verrett, 75th. There's actually a game-worn jersey by Fred Warner. And notice the number 48. So
Yeah, that's
that's
rare.
his rookie year. That's his rookie
That's a
year.
rare one right there.
It sure is. So I was lucky to have won that auction. I
That's
snagged that
awesome.
one. Carlos Hyde with the 70th anniversary logo on it. So, keep going. I actually have another Warner jersey over there. So I have both numbers, both colors. So that's pretty fun. So over here is just a whole bunch of different memorabilia. Down here, you can see all these pins. And I've gotten almost all these pins from Tommy Nello, also on X, FN.
Yeah, some great
for
ones.
sale.
I have a few from him as well, and they're really great quality and very creative in his designs as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah, most of them are his. Stark Express, I have a few from him as well. So then up here, I just have more different memorabilia, different types of memorabilia that I've acquired over my days. So down here,
Yeah,
my
the Joe
daughter
Montana
My daughter
signed.
wants me to show it. These are some hand drawings that I got from somebody online. Just different pictures that they drew. So kind of neat stuff there. Oh, there's one more. Yep. And then, of course, the 49 University. I'm official doctorate in 49ers football.
That's awesome.
So again, some more memorabilia up here. Now, this one here, this picture is my favorite picture because this was actually taken on Levi Stadium Field after the Niners-Packers game a couple years ago on Thanksgiving. It was my daughter and son's first game, so we went out for Thanksgiving week, and we got on the field. So that's my most
awesome.
favorite item. Down here, you can see here's some autographs back in the 80s.
Of the lamp.
We got the lamp. I have a matching lamp right there on each end. These are all the jerseys. So there's that Joe Montana autograph magazine cover. A lot of different guys. Jerry Rice is down here. Wesley Walls, Barry Helton, a whole bunch of guys from the 80s when I would bump into them in the team hotel. So these are like the oldest pieces I have, just because of how long they've been here. I have all 5 Super Bowl replicas. I can't wait someday to add number 6 to that one for sure. And they're life size. Some guy online makes them for whatever team you want, so I had to buy the set. So they're actually, got some weight to it and, legit. So if you want to zoom in there and see the actual engraving, it's an actual real replica. So this table here, and there's an end table over there and this coffee table. This is kind of neat. So this guy, I met him at a card show, and he'll make custom furniture for you, whatever sports team you want. So I got these tables. It's got the playing field. Then underneath, I got it. That's actually a team issued helmet. Another auction item I had won over the.
So that's a life size helmet.
That's an actual team issued helmet. Yep.
Wow.
So if I bring it out, put it up here, you get a better look at it. Yeah. So, and if you look on the inside, it's got all the original padding. So this is actually team issued. Another cool piece I have is my Joe Staley mannequin.
He looks a little different these days. Wow.
Yeah, he does.
He cut some weight after the season.
Absolutely, can't blame him.
After you retired,
around that size. But this jersey's autographed, and a couple years ago, there was some wildfires in Northern California, and they were really bad, and they wiped out a whole school district. So as a fundraiser, the 49ers had a Monday night game against the Giants, I think it was, and they had 6 guys autographed jerseys and put them up. I won the Staley jersey. Those pants are actually from Richard Sherman. I got those at an auction. So I'm like, what am I going to do with these? I got to do something fun with it, right? So I'm like, okay, I want to buy a mannequin. And there's this mannequin downstairs in my fan cave.
Fits like a glove.
I've tried the helmet on him, but it falls. So I had to take the helmet off. These 2 paintings here, again, some guys I found on Twitter. John Hines, I think his name is. His wife's done these 2 prints, so I bought those from him. Just miscellaneous stuff around here. But over here, this is pretty cool one. The guy who made my furniture made this display case. So it's got some LED lights in it, and I have all my great bottles of alcohol. All the Joe Montana Gold Bar stuff, a Super Bowl collection of wine bottles. So that's kind of permanently on display. And then in here, I have other kinds of autographed footballs, bling helmets by Wally. He's a pretty big fan. Got his. There's my picture with Joe right down here. That was done at the same time
Nice.
as
When he lined
Jersey.
you up.
Yeah, he lined me up. Yep, I'll never forget that. And then just more collectible helmets, autographed, and then some football cards. That's it. That's the brief tour.
This is incredible. I mean,
Thank you.
I love seeing all of this. I love that you mentioned, some of this stuff came from 49ers Foundation, and clearly it's some really great stuff that they give in those. It's for a great cause. I really do appreciate it. A lot of your stuff is from there. I have that same 49ers Avenue thing over here. You probably can't see it, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. Twinsies.
My background, it's not quite as good as the fan cave you've got going on.
We all do what we can do, and I've seen some other ones that I'm sure you'll see them too that are even more awesome than mine. But mine works for me, and like I said, it's our happy place down here, and that's all you should strive to be, is what makes it right for you. You're not competing against anybody else. Yeah.
Well, I love it, Jim. And McKenna, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I love seeing, more women fans, more girl fans out there. And so, Jim, you've done a great job bringing her along to the 49ers fandom. We love to see it. Thank you guys so much for joining me.